Hey everybody, I've been saying this for a while, but I'm gonna continue saying it because it's completely obvious. I shouldn't have to say it, but again, humanity, with all that its beauty and goodness and glory and all this, lovely stuff that I love about humans, we're also extremely stubborn and can be disobedient as fuck sometimes. And thinking that we're right too. And I've done this too. Like I know, I've spent time justifying my actions to make myself feel better in the choices that I make, even though if I really want to be honest with myself deep down inside, I haven't done this in a very long time, but I know what it's like to justify things and rationalize things in a way to make me feel good with the current choices that I've made, even though there's this overwhelming, I say overwhelming because that's a lot of times what it feels, maybe not overwhelming, but this compelling force that is trying to tell me to act differently. And yet at times we can still fight against that force and good reason and do what the fuck we think is best because we think we know what the fuck's good for us, even though time and time and time and time and time and time and time again, evidence shows that humans, we fuck up a lot. We make a lot of mistakes. This is why we need things like, the Bible or some type of it doesn't have to be the Bible, can just a set path to help guide us through this life, especially as a human being, because we're full of so many different types of extremes. And to be a human, from what I've heard, is one of the most, polar extremes. Like as a human being, especially in the time that we're in, you're going to experience a lot of love and a lot of pain. Depending on who you are, it's a little bit different, but just to be a human, you are open. You have the opportunity to feel a lot of different types of emotions. This is why it's so important that we have things to help guide us through these fucking, confusing times, because it's easy to get lost up in emotions and feelings and things and think that you're doing the right thing or what you think is right for you, when actuality it's really not. And the devil's greatest trick is convincing the world he doesn't exist, because once you don't believe the devil exists, and you don't know that there actually is something manipulating you to be a certain way. And the best way to get these people to do these things is for them to not even know that they're doing them. This is why I think that there's probably some people in the social media world that are aware and have knowingly fucking betrayed the human populace and continue to lie and to speak half-truths while they mix in the bullshit that they need to, or they've been told they need to. And then there are... so there's them, and then there's the people that are just completely ignorant and don't know that they're being fucking, used as puppets because they do it on their own volition, because they want to be a part of this fucking backwards ass fucking movement we got going on planet Earth right now. It is what it is. Something shifted since last night, and so I'm just going with the flow. Remember what I said, man. It don't matter. The only thing that matters in regards to this project getting done, the only thing that keeps it from not being done is if I don't finish it. So it doesn't matter if certain celebrities, I hope you guys do. I hope, even if you just want to help me spread the word. But even if you don't, like one way or another, this will get done. So, and it's like, to be honest with you, it's only going to continue to harden your heart. Like if you guys can't even speak about a plant that does nothing but goodness for everything it touches, or if you guys can't even speak about starving children or our dying planet, there's consequences to that, man. It is what the fuck it is, especially if you have the time and energy and to do so. Like a lot of people don't have extra time like a lot of these wealthier people do. So it's like, as I've said, man, like it's a power, money, all that stuff comes with responsibility. And how you choose to use your time, especially if you have an abundance of free time, says everything about your character. Okay, now clearly if you have a family and you've got emergencies and all sorts of stuff going on 24/7, then that's different. You don't have a bunch of open free time. But for those of you that do, and you still choose to keep your mouth shut on these topics, like that does have a negative effect on you, especially in the time that we're in, when there's so much bullshit, there's so many fucking sick and starving people, and you continue to fucking keep your mouth shut, especially when you fucking learn that there are other ways to do these things. Like the hemp plant can solve a lot of things. Just speaking about it breeds hope, because every human being has cannabinoid receptors in their body. Doesn't matter who you are. You do. So like we have a connection with this plant, a very sacred connection. This is why even just speaking about it will make people feel good, because it has a familiarity. Their body, their cells know it, and they know it's good for them. Not to mention just the inspiration and the amount of businesses that can be produced. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Curing cancer, like, this shit's nuts. Little Bear. So anyways, I'm just making this video because I felt like I needed to, but, you know, speak about the children, man. Like, what you do unto the least, you do unto me. There's some real shit to that, okay? There's starving kids in Africa dying right fucking now. Yeah, man. And the sad thing is, if a lot of y'all were right there, like in that area where they're dying, you'd probably fucking want to do something about it. But because you're not, you choose not to. Does that make it right? I don't think so. So I'm just speaking my truth. All right, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Bye.